Oh, Ricardo Goss kept a couple of clean sheets in succession. Siwelele coming to this game on the back of successive 0-0 draws. Brandon Peterson was perhaps a little hesitant, and he's been caught out here. What a wonderful moment. Oh, and the flag is raised. Well, Siwelele almost had one to break, but look at what it means to him.
Can we look at the clock and say it's 6 minutes into this game? Can we look at the clock and say we were saying that the intention is to have a go at Chiefs? They are playing at home and the fans are out in numbers. Look at how quick that happened. Look at how difficult it is. The anticipation is the ball to be played in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. It's a cutback, which is always a frustrating thing for defenders. Look at this cutback. Look at the defenders standing, and once they turn, there's nothing that they can do. Clinical finish. Look at that. Delightful composure in the box. He did what he could do as a keeper. Second time around, he got punished. Good save in the end. First chuck, he got it right. Second time wasn't to be. More to the side, so that they can still have some work to do to try and regain and get the angles right. Pressure is on for Chiefs. Excitement is building up on the side of siwelele.
Siwelele, who have scored only 1 goal in their last 4 league outings coming into this game. It was very nearly Mazibuko with his first ever senior goal, but Brandon Peterson denied him. Potsane would not be kept up. Let's also give some credits to Kampani Lungu as
they're not going to be as sharp as they were when they played against the Pirates aggressive. So have a go at them in the early stages and test and see if they can cope. And they've done exactly that. And something is showing. The score says they are leading 1-0. And now it's about Chiefs to regroup, re-energize themselves, and see what they can do. Are they capable? Yes, I think they are.
Well, it's been given away again by a man in Liverpool Mabwe who comes in the back of the net earlier in the game, but it will count this time. Specifically Jeza with his first ever goal in senior football.
I'm trying to find a way that can define the speed. And the car that comes, it's got a nickname, it's called Kusheshe. That's how fast that car is, the takeoff. And Kampani Lungu, they lose possession, Kaizer Chiefs there. And look at Kampani Lungu, possible offside. No, definitely not offside. He's quick, doesn't go for glory. Good peripheral vision to spot his teammate on the far side. Unlocks the Chiefs defense. Look at them looking at the possibilities. Good control, doesn't disappoint under pressure. That's goal number 2.
Well, there was an incomplete story that we were trying to... Yeah, I think many people would agree, as Kampani Lungu trying to set Mazibuko away. The ball may just hold up. In fact, it has. Now Potsane. Mukwane. Can't find Nuato. As Nikamomia. Speculative effort from miles out. Here's Silva. Left for him by Wanile Duba. Refrosler.
Forcing the opponents or the hosts to commit fouls in fertile areas. Now it calls for the heavy artillery.
It's a bit of an awkward angle for a direct free kick. They still only have 1 this season. 1 of only 5 that have been scored in the Betway Premiership. It was the first of the season for Kusubili Ngobo from a direct free kick. It's been a good 4 seasons since Kaizer Chiefs scored 2 direct free kicks in the league. As we confirmed for you today, there's a lot of happy siwelele fans currently, but probably the happiest of all will be Pusuletso Maketa, her courtesy of Betway and Spanisa and Win will be leaving the Toyota Stadium with 20,000 rand. Her winnings of 10,000 doubled as she is an active Betway account holder.
think for me, I look at some of these fouls, I'm thinking the bookable offences. Referee's in a charitable mood.
Lifted in, away by Kapani Lungu, doing his defensive duties just as capably as his attacking.
Numbers forward, and there are spaces that I think can be exploited, and they almost did that. Siwelele with Putsani being involved in the move. He's covered so much ground. He looks trained. Not in a rush, but not rushing at all.
Wraps his foot around it, but Brandon Peterson gets gloves on the delivery, punted forwards. Dube in pursuit, will run through mercifully for Ricardo Goss.
Yeah, any numbers forward, Chiefs, but every time they lose possession in the opponent's half, and I'm looking at defensively, they look a little bit disjointed.
Siwelele threatening once again. Not the most convincing ball played by Mazibuko. Silva. Duba. Duba's ball in is a decent one.
I'd want to see that again. I thought there was a handball.
Yeah, there were some half-hearted appeals.
Yeah. You're going to see shots of Siwelele.
They made just the one so far. Now here's Dushabalala. And Nico Mobia did enough to avert the danger, but it does come at the expense of a corner.
Some defending still has to be done. Positive football. Get the ball into the danger areas.
The ball in, and over from Silva. Another corner. Sanoka taking the acclaim, so the last touch must have been his, yeah.
Good delivery, good attack.
And it comes once again, and Silva is the target, a target that is found. He, however, in turn, can't find the back of the net.
Gets up well. You can tell he's trying to head it down. Didn't work.
A couple of changes being made. It doesn't surprise us at all to see Japo Moralo emerging from the bench, and alongside him is the teenager, 19-year-old Glazola Marco. And for Kaizer Chiefs, Vilakazi has just pulled his skipper on, so he'll shortly be entering the fray. Machaman and Mazibuko making way. Mazibuko coming ever so close to scoring his first senior goal today on a couple of occasions. That just wasn't to be. First touch, it's not a good one for Moralo. Hands possession, back to Kaizer Chiefs, edge of the area, Lilepo! And Ricardo Goss showing his quality, elite reflexes from the siwelele stopper.
More like it from Chiefs. Good combination play, well set up for the level. Then again, excellent goalkeeping. The pressure is still on though. That one is out. Trying to force matters. It's a set piece, a corner. Can they do something? Frostler is in there.
Before this corner is taken, there'll be a couple of alterations made here by Kaizer Chiefs, who have now thrown on their full quota of 5 subs. Dushabalala as well as Wandile Duba coming off for Velebai, and Vilakazi, who emerges for, this is the 12th time he's coming on as a sub this season. Across the 17 appearances he's made in the Betway Premiership. Frostler's corner. First involvement for Vilakazi. Quickly onto him. So make that effort maybe a little more tricky, wasn't Rato? Realizing his opposition's proficiency from range. Velebai now. Frostler. Frostler's ball drops on the edge of the area for Vilakazi, and Simango swings a leg at it. I don't think he realized quite how much time he had. Time and space.
Time and space. If I was asked to defend him, I'd say, but you know he's not a right-footed player. To say yes, he's got time to control the ball and put it on his I mean, look at it. He had time as well to turn his body, control it.
Against Kaizer Chiefs, the last 5 games he's played against them, 4 wins, 1 draw. The last time Lungu was on the losing end of a result against Chiefs was back in 2022, 2-1 loss at Supersport suffered. Now this is looking better for the visitors. And again, siwelele able to clear their lines, and Putsane comes away with it. Frostler to Velebai. Velebai finding Lilepo. It's a clever ball played by Lilepo. Forces the corner.
But 10 minutes to go. Not any possible extra time, but it's possible for Chiefs to bounce back. It's situations like this where there's a set piece, corner, managing in.
Well, they haven't been, as we pointed out in the first half, too effective from corners this season, but the left foot of Vilakazi is potent. And again, another opportunity goes a-begging, this time Ignacio Miguel missing the mark.
Such an inviting in-swinger. That needed a direct header as opposed to try and do the glancing header.
Well, sometimes a team remains behind because they haven't had chances. That is certainly not the case for Kaizer Chiefs in this second period.
No.
The opportunities have been there. We'll run through to Brandon Peterson, but a reminder of just how dangerous siwelele can be if they get even a sniff in this remaining 10 or so minutes.
I think there's maturity now, because if you look at the numbers they have in defense, because they are aware that Chiefs is putting them under pressure.
Lungu has somehow attracted 4 players to him. Clever from Putsane. Lungu getting it back from Frostler. Putsane again. Follows Nico Mobia. Showing an ability here, siwelele, to manage the game. Now, chance for Rapo!
That's what happens when a team attacks and they don't score this Kaizer Chiefs at this stage. And now you have them losing possession in their own half. And they almost got punished. They've considered a corner. Bailed out. Their last line.
Rato's ball. A very easy claim for Brandon Peterson, who's not moving with all too much ease as he bowls that out for Lilepo. Time running out for the visitors. Simango. Hele. Velibai. Vilakazi. Hele. Now there's space for Velibai here. Oh, not what they needed.
It's not good if we're to talk about the lack of basic skills to control the ball. There's not too much pressure on his sides, but you can say it happens to the best.
So the second goal scorer withdrawn not so long ago, and now the first as Putsane comes on. Here's another look at how he opened the scoring in the first half.
They were on fire, imposed themselves on Chiefs and got something out of it early stages of the match.
On comes Moloi Sani, just his second appearance in the Midway Premiership this season.
Good gesture because of former Chiefs man, Putsane.
A battle on there between Moralo and Vilagazi. Well, they have another free kick in a great area to Kaizer Chiefs. They have been peppering the 18-yard area of siwelele. Oh,
a transformed play. Full back, playing attack. Good set of skills.
well, the only match.
Let me tell you what worked for siwelele. They knew this is a team that played a tough game. It doesn't. So they said, let's attack them. The first
over the years. Vilakazi sprays it out wide. We're into the final minute of regulation time here as Vilakazi carries it forward. Now, Gampani Lungu, he's a little isolated, but there are plenty in green and white that are joining him. His pass is forced Moloi Sani slightly out wide, but there's still a chance on. 3 in the area for the hosts. Some unconvincing defending from Inacio Miguel. Here is Gampani Lungu. Five minutes of additional time. It's plenty. But with siwelele successfully holding onto the ball like this, it will matter not. The flag has stayed down. And Moloi Sani with some good skills to certainly draw a reaction.
I sense the frustration on the Chiefs sides. Is it that time? Happens in the opponent's half, it's all right. That's how they feel. but it ain't over. There's 5 minutes.
Clipped cleverly to Kampani Lungu. Goes down under the challenge of Miguel.
It's a frustration for any coach. There was no need for him to commit a foul here. He's guiding the player. There's no need. There's no danger at all. Let him have it. Only when he tells, watch this. He's thinking, is there any... There's no danger there.
It's been a monster performance from Kampani Lungu, who is the man here to find Moloi Sane here. Didn't sense Silva sneaking up on him. Hele. Vilibai. Can't find a way past Filosa. Miguel. Now Ricardo Goss collects. Under 3 minutes to go.
Give it to siwelele. That's far in terms of the maturity. Miguel is getting involved in something that could get him into trouble. What happened here? A foul? Yes, we see that's a foul.
Kampani Lungu with a yellow card, I think, for coming to the defense of his young teammate Moato. And Kaizer Chiefs, long unbeaten run, looks to be coming to an end. 7 games without defeats prior to this evening, including 5 wins. Amongst those 5 wins, 4 in succession by more than 2 goals. 2 goals or more. It's been a brilliant run for them. A draw with Orlando Pirates over the weekend left many Amakosi fans very pleased with the efforts of their players, despite the fact they scored with they've only shot on target and did have to absorb a lot of pressure, but they produced a response, and now Vilibai has not been able to produce the goods in front of goal. Tiptoes away from one, does Tele, Mabwe receives, giving him Simango has ventured quite far upfield. Time now only for a consolation. Siwelele were desperate to hang on to their clean sheet. A proud defensive record this season. Vilibai puts in a ball that is easily repelled by Nikomobia.
He's done well playing as a centre-back.
Now Lilepo from a tight angle, again brilliant defending in back-to-back moments for Mobia.
Experience unfolding there. Good anticipation.
Vilagazi trying to do it all on his own. Still Vilagazi. Still he continues on. And he's left it for Kampani Lungu. There is the final whistle. Many had assumed that following an energy-sapping Soweto derby, that if Siwelele played their cards right, they could come away with all 3 points. And my word, did they get it right this evening. 2 first-half goals, which they defended brilliantly after the